Last time, we saw the creation of the world, the creation of the kinds, and their gods. This time, we will see the formation of cities and kingdoms in the four zones, as well as go a little more in depth into them. We start in the Smoking Pillars. The Morkan tribes have wandered for nearly 1,000 years in this place, but now, in the northern region of the Smoking Pillars, something new happens. A tribe of Morkan found a city. They hew it out of what clay they can find, as well as any sparse vegetation, to keep their dwellings lightweight, since they seek to build them in the air near the smoking peaks of the pillars, to avoid the dangers on the ground to which they are so susceptible. For sustenance, they have found another use for the smoking peaks. They have found that they can grow a moss, which they have eaten for generations, around the smoking tops, and at great quantities, keeping themselves fed. Some of the greater minds in Morkan society also foresee that smoke emitted from these peaks will serve some greater purpose in the future. But for now, the Morkan build their first city and name it Mordum. And they elect one of their number to be not Morkan, but Morking. In the Plate Hills, the Rodkin build their own settlements. Their land has more vegetation, albeit dry, that they use to construct their dwellings. As an added bonus, the vegetation they build their huts out of continues to sprout roots, providing them with a stable and sufficient amount of food. They are led still by their chieftains, who have their houses built out of vegetation which had its growing parts severed, as a sign of status, showing that as chiefs they do not need their homes to provide them with food. In these villages, the shamans, who have traveled with tribes for years, settle down, and have stone circles built for them out of the surrounding stone, and in the center place the trees that have green leaves in their canopies, a rarity in the stone hills. In the Grey Desert, the Stingmen continue on in wandering tribes, but now the tribes begin to align, creating moving kingdoms. Each coalition of tribes is led by a high king, with tribe leaders under them. While infighting continues between tribes within and outside these kingdoms, entire kingdoms may go to war with each other on occasion. The kings only really have power when kingdoms go to war, but rarely interfere with internal matters and wars. The Stingmen move around as they have for years, however they now have brightly colored tents made of the wool and skins of the herds they bring with them. They have also tamed riding beasts to help in travel and warfare in the sands. And in the Auburn Forest, the Woden found their own cities, centered around temples. These temples are made of the wood of the forests and are built like spires that tower over the canopy, with steep stairs, almost ladders, that lead to their summits. While these temples are all dedicated to Akatl, their main god, each city has developed their own local god with the building of the temple. For example, a city named Hatlatl would have a god, Hatlatl Xlan, as well as their main god, Akatl. These cities constantly war and vie with each other for dominance, and their powers wax and wane yearly or even monthly,